Hey everyone, Scott Winterroth, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit, I know. Sorry about the little bit of a delay, but things have happened. Things have progressed. I'm recording this because literally 3 years ago this week, I was on the operating table and getting my bariatric surgery for the only time, but the first time. And I thought it was interesting to talk a little bit about my journey, a little bit of an update. I'm 150 pounds lighter, had a little bit of ups and downs, but I'm still below my goal weight. More importantly, I'm living a totally different lifestyle. And yes, I've had a little bit of help along the way, which I haven't talked about until now. So, reflecting in the last 3 years, my physical health changes and mindset shifts have been amazing. But believe it or not, there's been some downs too. And I thought I would share some of that as we talk about. So it hasn't been all rainbows, and maintenance mode is what exactly you think it is. So I thought I would start with a little bit of a general life update. Let's face it, like living an active lifestyle is a lot of work, but it's totally made me realize the enjoyment and the extra fulfillment you get from living such an active lifestyle. This is something I didn't even realize I was missing when I was overweight, but catching a sunrise over the lake, doing a nature hike or nature washing, if you will, or maybe catching some people, just doing people watching at the mall with my wife. These are all things that I sort of wanted to do, or if I did do them, they were uncomfortable or not something I enjoyed doing being morbidly overweight. But now that I've accomplished my goal weight, life is just different in a good way. But there has been some ups and downs through this process, and I thought I would share some of those on this particular journey. Mainly, one of the downs is something I want to talk about in this video that I've waited a long time to share. I just wasn't ready, but here it is. I didn't think I was going to do it, but I decided to have a panniculectomy, or however you pronounce it. It's a really funny word to say. This is really a lesson learned about bariatric surgery that I had no intention of doing when I was in the initial consultant with my bariatric surgeon. But as things have come along, and as you lose an extreme amount of weight, or over 100, 150 pounds, you're going to have some excess skin. And believe me, I have excess skin in areas that I had no idea I could have excess skin. And it was always something that I thought I never would really potentially do because I was never really sort of subconscious of it. I didn't really care. I wasn't really sort of being naked in front of people other than my wife and I. And it's something that you can generally hide underneath your clothes. But there is a sort of hidden secret about it that I have to share here on this vlog. When you have that much excess skin that folds or skin that flaps is going to sweat. It's going to be like your armpits. You can use deodorant and stuff like that, but sometimes it's really hard to put deodorant into areas that aren't really meant for it. And it was just getting to the point where I was experiencing a lot of irritation and a lot of smell. The smell was probably the worst part of it all. If I took off my shirt or was just, going to work, like I could smell it. It was pretty bad. It's BO, like it's body odor, right? So I decided to, after conversations with Heather, I decided that basically I should just see what we go into. The other thing that was sort of happening was I was actually having pretty significant lower back pain, and I was seeing a chiropractor. He was great. He was talking to me about things, and he kind of set me up for the idea of at least talking about getting the skin removed, because where your stomach excess skin sits is right kind of at your lower back. So if you do any bending or anything like that, it's sort of tugging in an area where I did injure it a long time ago when I was originally working out, right? So I had an injury in my lower back, and the excess skin ended up being a problem area for me. So long story short, I decided to contact the plastic surgeons at Rush, and I talked to them, and basically they were able to get me in, and through the process, my insurance was able to cover the majority of getting a panniculectomy, and that was great. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that I wasn't going to go through, and it was just going to be something I was going to have to live with. But fortunately, the universe delivered, and I went in May and had 6 pounds of skin removed from my abdomen. And the surgery was definitely more than I expected. It was definitely a more intense surgery than I thought than the original bariatric surgery. It was an overnight stay. It was inpatient in the hospital. It was actually a hospital that wasn't extremely close to my home. It wasn't even in the main hospital. It was in the Oak Park Hospital. And it was, the surgery, of course, doesn't hurt. You're under the anesthesia. But recovery was, I'm still recovering. It's been almost 3 months, and I'm still wearing a binder around my tummy because I have a hole in the side of my skin. I had a blister from the surgery at the incision site, and it's just taking forever to heal. So believe it or not, I am still recovering 3 months in. So, I mean, of course, I'm living a normal life. The only thing that's really different is that, one, I have to pack it with gauze to make sure it sort of like bleeds, if you will. But also, I'm still wearing an abdominal binder, which I could wear spandex, but I just don't really wear spandex. Also, it's the middle of August. It's like 90 degrees outside. I don't really want to wear tights in this type of weather. So the abdominal binder is cotton, and it's okay. I'm learning to live with it, but it's okay. So all in all, it's been a little bit of a journey. I sort of didn't think it would take this long to heal. I actually was expecting it to take a couple weeks and be sort of back to normal. I mean, I've been living a pretty normal lifestyle. I haven't really done anything that I probably would normally do. The only thing I really can't do is like swimming, especially swimming in like pools or lakes that are public or lakes that are, not flowing water, but it's been okay. That's been a little bit of a journey when it comes to recovery from a panniculectomy. The good thing is like I definitely feel much more comfortable in that area. I don't have the smell. Like I'm starting to heal. I think I will have a really full report when I finally get this binder off me. But my pants fit mostly better. I just feel more confident when it comes to that area of my body. And I do have a huge incision. I mean, it's an incision that goes from hip to hip, so it's pretty low. The surgeon did a really good job of trying to keep it below like a underwear line or below a swimsuit line, but it's there. And it kind of is what it is. Again, I was opting more for getting the skin removed just to feel more comfortable than I was for being a swimsuit model anymore, but that's one part. The other part that is both good and bad, good that I was able to get the surgery. They were able to sort of move my belly button and make it smaller, like make it less deep. So I don't get that sort of really funky BO. And they cut off 6 pounds of skin from my abdomen, but I still have my love handles, which, there is some visceral fat there. Like, no matter how hard I try, like I'm still going to probably have some fat there. It's one of the last places I'm probably going to lose weight just because of the situation. But I could get that removed. But again, that would require another surgery, another, potentially uncovered surgery. And I'm just not sure. And honestly, with how long it took for me to recover from this surgery, like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I want to do that again. That's sort of the good news / bad news. Either way, I'm sort of happy I did it. I think I'll be happier as I continue to recover. But again, something I wasn't expecting to do, but here I am. I did it. It's done. I'm sharing it with you. I hope you can sort of use this experience to decide if you want to go down this route, if you are maybe just getting bariatric surgery or you're on a GLP-1 journey and you're going to lose 100 pounds plus. Like, these are things you have to deal with. These are things that I probably kind of knew I had to deal with, but never expected I actually have to deal with. Or I'm sort of grateful I had to deal with this. But again, they're just things you have to sort of circumvent. In terms of the bariatric surgery, again, I'm 3 years out. Like, this is, if you're considering bariatric surgery, you're considering a weight loss journey where you're going to lose an extreme amount of weight. There's definitely been some ups and downs, like some ups along the way. Like, obviously, I feel better. I feel great. I'm in the best health of my life. But also, I've had some downs. I mean, there's actually this is a video I want to do at some point, but there are some real mental tolls of losing 150 pounds. Probably one of the hardest ones is living with regret. Regret is a really, hard word that affects people in different ways. But I think that when you live and you start to live a more active lifestyle and you realize everything that you maybe lost while you were 300 pounds or whatever you are, that you sort of have a sense of regret that you lived that way, that you let that happen. And I think that's something that I have to continue to work with all the time. I have to continue to work through. And I hope that it's something that, you consider, no matter where you're at in your journey, that it's something that's heavy. And I always try to consider myself someone who doesn't live life with lots of regrets, but things happen in life. And this is one of those ones where you have to not be hard on yourself, but just live in the moment a little bit. Have to stop and think, I'm so grateful for where I'm at today and what I am right now, and not necessarily worry about the past or worry about the future. Because at the end of the day, there's always that sort of Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was maybe 5 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is right now, right? So you just have to kind of live with that mindset that right now is the time you need to take action. So that's a little bit of an update. I hope that you are living the fullest life that you can live and that your journey, no matter where you're at on this continuum, is going the way that you'd like it to. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I will be back with some more videos I've got planned in the future. And also, I'm kind of considering doing some other videos, so I hope you stick around. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy. Thanks for watching.